it's really depressing when a place so full of potential and with such a massively glorious future right on the horizon, when a place like that exists and it's constantly drowning in its past and references to things that just don't feel very relevant anymore, it kind of grinds my gears. But you know what I really, really would need in a time of ultimate gear grinding? When everything is completely slowed the fuck down?
Hold on. There it is. Oh, the views and opinions expressed in this program are strictly those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of associated brands or figures, and some content may not be appropriate for sensitive listeners.
Gesundheit.
Did you sanitize those recently? Like, what is that? Wait a minute.
Hey, look, that Delta strain.
Yeah, it's a different strain of smoke bomb.
Yeah, we're actually trying something really, really new. Since we're going with the, we went with the Johnson & Johnson strain of disclaimer jutsu powder this time. Apparently, it's the most effective against the Delta strain.
Extra strength.
Absolutely. Just letting you know out there, crewman, CDC is warning us yet again. Wear a fucking mask. Hate to say it, you hate to see it, but yeah, be safe out there. Put a fucking mask on. Don't be a dick. Looking at you, guy who runs the Hummingbird. Every time we get a chance to even talk with people, about Macon, about what potential the city has, we always get slapped with this same thing. Well, have you talked to the Reddings? Have you heard about the Reddings? Oh man, what was that fucking band that just recently another one of their members passed away and they had to lock down half of Macon to bury him?
Oh, the Allman Brothers band?
Yeah.
They did?
Exactly.
Well, nothing was locked down. The entire, active populace was gravely inconvenienced.
I mean,
people out of state.
I was delivering mail at the time. Trust me, it was blocked off.
Oh, this was a little while back.
Yeah.
Sounds like it just happened.
No, the Allman Brothers band, one of their members died,
Yeah, I remember that.
then they shut down. It's like, no, why is it that Macon...
took over downtown?
Right. Why is it that Macon always seems to only be known for these things? Like, what have they done lately?
That's a great question. What have you done for me lately?
The strangest thing is, why is whenever people look at the Bible, right, and they're like, damn, Jesus was out here turning water into wine, fish into, bread into fish, and all this other dope shit, he was actively out there doing it. I can't keep believing in mortal men that aren't out here making any fish. My people haven't eaten in so long. Why should they mention the name Redding?
Funny you should ask, because alright, so perfect example. So my first ever
You tend to have those.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the veil in the shadows, because a lot of times niggas just don't make a big parade about the shit they doing. The best of us, that's how you do it. So in their case, first ever contract that my best friend and I were offered as teenagers or whatever was actually reviewed by Otis Redding III or whatever. He caught the clause in there that would have had me locked up from the time I was 16 to the time I was 23 in that bullshit contract that was just gonna give us like $10,000. So he saved us on that. And the very day that the term Mavicus was actually coined, I was sitting around the table with Justin Andrews, which is the third generation Redding, as well as Jessica Walden, as well as Julie Wilkes and a few other people, basically learning about basically the relationship we have with the governor's office in terms of them either blocking or just the different things that we had to face in order to get arts funded in this area. And it just opened up a whole new world of holy shit or whatever. Like, whoever's up in the office in the White House, it does make a huge difference as to what the fuck actually can and cannot happen here in Macon, in terms of they want all their funding to go over this way versus this party is more supportive of arts and things like this. So it was just a whole crazy, and that was actually called an Arts Advocates Roundtable, which is why we ended up being Macon Advocates, aka the Mavericks. So it's just shit that happens in the background. But that said, we do gotta celebrate what's happening now and not just get absorbed in what has happened in the past, especially when it's been decades and decades and decades.
Right. That's always my major gripe.
It's like we look back a lot to the point where, and this is a conversation that we've had repeatedly together, as a community, we don't have any heroes. We don't have heroes that we look up to. We don't have pillars of a community. We don't have people that are necessarily, figureheads of a movement or of a positive force these days. And we haven't since the 70s. Now, we can get into the million reasons why that is. Which wouldn't be hard.
No.
But I instead would rather ask why it is no one stepped up.
I just thought about something. All right, so during the time when like Otis Redding was actually alive and stuff, was everybody in Macon really fucking with him? Because mind you, this is like in black and white times. Like every picture you see is like in black and white. And so now I know y'all ain't finna sit up here and act like everybody was cool about this black dude down here singing and stuff. It seems like it's one of those things that after his posthumous album came out and then became wildly popular on all charts or whatever, and everybody's like, yeah, he's from here, stuff like that. So it's like it's probably him, his cousins showed up, a few niggas from around the way that used to come to all his shows, and then now all of a sudden after he did, now everybody want to claim some Otis. So if that was the case, I don't know for a fact that it's the case. This is just speculation, just based on what the times were at that time. But if that was the case, I can see how it's the case with certain people here, because there's certain folks that like at least like the hood niggas and black folks or whatever know about that they ain't talked about the whole town over, and they probably won't be talked about the world over until I guess one of them dies and and their album crosses over after they die. So I don't know, maybe that's how all our quote unquote heroes have been.
No,
I don't know.
Good old revisionist history.
Yeah, I don't know. They act like they was always fucking with Otis. They will throw up a statue now, but I'm just saying, was that the case when he was actually here and people could enjoy his presence while he was here? Was that the case? I don't know.
This is the Bible, Bill. I guess not.
Yeah, if them pictures was in black and white, there's a good chance. I don't know.
He was doing secular music.
Usually, if there were photos, biracial photos from the black and white era of Lifetime, it was usually novelty. Man, I got a photo with that color boy. He can really sing.
There you go. Because I know that.
Oh man, we love that color boy singing. Otis Redding? Oh man, no, I'm telling you. Now I usually don't get down with any of that jigaboo stuff, but now as far as most coloreds go, he is fantastic.
He's swell.
And keep in mind, these were compliments back then, so
You're so well spoken for a colored.
I mean, it's like you realize you're talking to the people, and that is something that is in the back of my mind a lot when I do speak with people here, and when they speak so readily about how they love Otis Redding and how they love the African American musical culture and yada yada yada, and I take that person in and take in how old they are and stuff, and then I'm like, I wonder what level of appreciation that started at. And I can't help but, being me, kind of wonder that at times. It's like, when did it turn from, man, that color guy really he's pretty good at this. When did it go from them being just entertained? And when did it become them starting to respect and see something that is worth supporting?
When everybody else got hold of it. Easy answer. Because as soon as motherfuckers outside of here get hold of some shit, that's when the people here start appreciating.
That's when it's popping.
Yeah, that's when it's popping. Like, oh, they fucking with it up there? Oh, okay, we been fucking with it. It was ours in the first place. Where the fuck was you when niggas was trying to get out there?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
like when Jeezy was from Macon until he said he wasn't, then everybody hated him. But before that, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. Oh, you used to what?
Oh, before that nigga was from Hawkinsville until he got big. And then all of a sudden, oh, he from Macon. Oops.
Oh.
I know you comfortable over there, Count Swagula, but
you know.
Yeah, if you can't hear you, we can't hear you.
I can hear me.
I can hear you now because I just turned the mic up.
Well, my voice is what it is, man.
Which is why we're making the audio work around it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Technology. See, back in the day, your ass would have had a yell. See, way back when, before amplifiers and fancy gadgets and shit. Hey, y'all can hear me over.
Well,
this nigga put a back in Monday.
this thing on.
I know y'all niggas ain't back there just talking and shit. What y'all got going on back there ain't as good as what's going on up here. Y'all better pay attention. We can't hear you, nigga. Shit. What? We can't hear you, nigga. That's enough out of the goddamn peanut gallery. I'm tired of y'all. But no, for real. I know easy answer, yeah, but
Pretty much it. That's nigga. Don't claim no shit until everybody else wanted and got it.
that's just always what I wondered. Like, it just suddenly becomes, damn, this is great stuff. Now that he's dead and we don't have to give him credit for it.
Not really suddenly. It's like to somebody you don't fucking know said. Then it's
And then at the same
then it's
time,
valid.
Then at the same time, isn't that how everything gets popularized?
For the most part.
Like take great works of literature. I hope you can hear the air quotes. It's a set of books decided on by a room full of old white men.
Hell, shit. Jesus wasn't popping until people outside Jerusalem heard about it. Like, they said it right there. they said, like, the people in your own home or whatever don't even give a fuck about the stuff you got going on. And then all of a sudden, now it's a big deal throughout the whole city. Now everybody got something to say. Like, what, the Romans trying to get this nigga now? Oh, shit. He must be popping. You know, he used to live right next door to me with his mom and that Joseph boy.
Look, man.
Yeah.
Look, martyrdom's a motherfucker, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, like, I just want to move past it. Like, it's like, what does it take to make a mark great enough to where you don't just become like a celebrity and you actually become like, I guess icon isn't the right word. When is it that you hit that point of leadership where that is what your legacy is and you don't just become like, for example, like everyone swears that Jay-Z and shit is a great man and all this other shit. Like they're dudes that like swear that they would follow his blueprints for life, like from step by step, no matter what. Okay, but what has he done as a leader that actually reflects any of this followership that he has?
Clarify. I was literally just reading an article about what they were doing with Long Island University, but clarifying the question.
What I'm saying is, why is it that if he has done anything that is altruistic or whatever is besides the point, he's not viewed as a leader in our community? In fact, people that view him as a leader are quite divisive in our own community. He hasn't ascended above celebrity.
They don't
Meanwhile,
foster people.
prior to, you know, you have folks like leaders in the Black Panther Party, you've got Malcolm X, you've got Martin Luther King. Why is it that the only heroes in our legacy seem to be people that were fighting for, that had to be completely directly related to civil rights? Why is it that suddenly after that petered out, we no longer have leaders, we no longer have living heroes, we no longer have like these people that we look to as that, as we mentioned before, that we can measure up to and go, that's what I'm trying to strive towards.
Well, if the earlier example is any indicator, and then just based on what the conversation I've had with older people or whatever, during the time when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were actually alive, they treated them the same way they do celebrities now. Where they're like, oh yeah, that nigga on TV talking about that equality stuff again. And then all after the fact, once again, after they're dead and things have kind of changed in the country, they look back and say, you know what? Yeah, I walked next to him one time. I mean, we weren't walking in the same direction, but I just happened to be going to the store and I happened to walk by Martin Luther King. So all of a sudden, Martin Luther King. But at the time, I think when you're in it, you can't really see it or whatever. So it's like, there's people who are these figures, but then you'll never really hear about, their great accomplishments and everything else until like years later. Just like a lot of like painters and stuff. It was like nobody gave a fuck about their painters while they were alive. After they died, oh, he was the greatest to ever do it. Whatever, all that shit. Like I think it just has something to do with that. Like just looking at it now or whatever, it's just starting to hit me that maybe these motherfuckers are here. It's just that nobody sees it till years later for whatever reason.
So then how do you change it? Because if people only recognize what you've done long after you've gone, that usually leaves it up to interpretation what it is you did and what it meant.
Yeah. Well, from personal experience, I'll tell you exactly what happens. All right, so you've got these living legends that are among us that know that the average person now isn't paying any attention to or whatever. For your own personal benefit, seek these people out for two reasons. Because of the fact that everybody ain't even paying attention to them at this moment or whatever, they're more accessible than they probably were. Even if they were famous before, they're more accessible. Or a perfect example, same thing happened when I first met George Clinton. As much as this man has done, wasn't nobody really checking for him at that time or whatever, besides me and other music heads that were just up on the music like that or whatever. I see him standing in a dealer's by himself. I'm like, holy shit, this George Clinton in the middle of a dealer's and nobody swarming it. Ain't like a bunch of security and shit. Oh, I'm gonna go say so or whatever. And so in those situations, you can soak up so much information, so many jewels, because even in their own lives, and this was actually the case with him, like it was people close to him, like he wanted to pass the torch to his grandchildren. Like now they're on tour with them and stuff now, but at that time, they either weren't ready or weren't interested in the quote-unquote family business because granddad wasn't popping like he used to at that moment. But heads like us were the ones that came in, were like, yo, George, I was like, you greater, you could do this and you could do that. And then all you gotta do is call that person, so on and so forth. And then he's willing to impart that information on you, like those jewels he always wanted to pass down to his own grandkids. And so you get to soak that stuff up. So I learned a lot of stuff in that wake or whatever. But then what ends up happening, as I'm growing, so is the overall situation growing. So he's starting to get back to, in the spotlight and so on and so forth. Now that's when the grandkids come back and then they're like, oh, okay, I want to be a part of this. I'm ready now, so on and so forth. And then you see what you see now. So it's like, so those people who are our heroes, if you are perceptive enough to recognize them and understand that they probably ain't getting the kind of recognition that they should be getting. They probably won't be getting recognition until 20 years later after they dead or something. If you go talk to them right now, not only will you have access to them, but then you'll also allow them to be able to pass the torch so that you could be that next person that's in said position or whatever leadership or whatever impact that you're gonna make or whatever. So now's the time. Get them while them angels are swooping low. Or whatever, when the wing broken, because once they start flying, you may not see them again.
Well,
don't wait to meet your heroes.
Go find them now, y'all.
Look, I'm jumping on this opportunity to go meet Jim Cummings, bro, because he ain't getting no younger. You know what I mean?
Go get them now, because
like you better go seek out your inspirational conversation with your childhood hero now, because you have no idea Betty White has been giving y'all courtesy years for like 2 decades.
She been waiting for you.
Y'all better go see America's grandma before it's too late, man.
She seems so sweet. Like she just seems like
God damn it! Like,
God damn it! It's like, just,
I would love to have Betty White like show up like at Fall Line Jam just to be there.
Yeah, she probably smoke a J with you and just
I
talk
was about to
about
say,
the
I
old
bet she
days.
smoked weed. She got to.
I know she said it. She said it in public condition. Man, how you think I live to be this old?
I'm about to say.
It
Please,
seems on brand.
please, just
Probably got her own strand and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
White Willow.
Steel Magnolia.
Oh,
That golden girl.
two on the nose. Nope.
She's gonna get you with that golden girl.
Geriatric Jane.
That Steel Magnolia.
Stop.
That midday medicine.
Who plucked them petals?
So I thought you had a story for these folks today.
Maybe my show.
Oh. Could you smell it?
Wow.
Could you smell it in the room?
Listen,
Speaking of smells, I got a story.
Listen, goddamn.
Hey,
here.
so apparently, since somehow y'all motherfuckers ain't never heard this story. Okay, so hey, fuck protect the names, change the names and protect the innocent. All right, so my dude,
We gave him a disclaimer.
yeah, all right, this my boy, love him to death. My dog, EJ the Witch Doctor from Dungeon Family. This my boy. All right. So, you know, we got the track we did together, Dr. Slump and all of that. And so I'm like, hey, the little town I grew up in Florida, they're trying to put together an event like nothing they've done before, whatever. They don't want to just do regular ass, same old Black History Month thing or whatever. They want to just do like a festival with all the different shades and types of blackness can come together, eat food, have fun, listen to all kinds of music, and just be together. All right, and so I'm like, cool. I was like, well, I got a buddy that, you know, he has a bit of fame, a little bit. Let me see if he'll come down here with me. We're gonna put on a show, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna rock the house for y'all. Cool, bet. All right, so they go and they do what it is they do, because all of them are tied into nonprofits and all this other stuff. So they get this money up, and they get them a hotel, and they built a stage out there. They done pulled out all the stops, and this was the first time. This was actually precursor to the Fall Line, because that was the first time I got a taste of just having an idea for an event for the most part, and then not having to go and do every fucking thing to put it together. Like I got a chance to show up, be an artist. I brought some folks with me, and then, you know, go do our thing. So they got this hotel. All right, so mind you, so initially the initial plan. This is the initial plan. So it was me, it was a photographer, and then Witch Doctor was supposed to be riding with us. Change of plans popped up. All right, well, I'm not gonna be able to leave at the time. I thought I was gonna be able to leave, but, you know, I'm riding with somebody, so on and so forth. All right, so I'm expecting Witch Doctor plus one other person at the most, because the conversation was somebody else's. I'm gonna ride down with somebody else. Bomb. Cool. Got the hotel set up, everything else. They got that covered for you. All right, so we get down there. We get to the hotel a little early. Got a nice little hotel over by the beach. I ain't never stayed in the motherfucker because I'm kind of from that town, so I always have places to live whenever I go there. Had never been to these hotels. This was nice. And so get in there. He's probably maybe 2 hours out or whatever by the time we get over there, because he got delayed and all this other shit. So it's late as hell at night. All right, so we gotta reserve the room. So they need a credit card on file or whatever. Since I happen to be the person that's there, I take a card and I put it on file. I was like, all right, I didn't want to. I was reluctant, but I was like, all right, I'll put it on file. Okay, he shows up. He has not just one person. He's got not just, let me see, at least 2-3 other performers with him. Cool. But he's also got what appear to be all of his children. So he has all these.
Not the whole one.
Yeah, all these small children. They're small children, and they all hopped into this car and they all came down. All right, so they stand in there. originally it was supposed to be set up such that he and photographer were sharing a room or whatever. Now we got all these extra people in there, so photographer just came, stayed at my grandma's house. Speaking of which, grandma says hello, Tenzin. All right. Anyways, so we got to go. It's about time. Everything is going down. Everybody's had the event. He gets out to the event. Remember, it's supposed to be a family event, but they get out there and he starts performing one of the nastiest songs I've ever heard, and the DJ ends up cutting him. And so I went ahead and did my thing or whatever.
Just a machine gun of expletive sensor beat.
It was probably the most sexual. There was some Congo drums involved.
No.
Hey,
put your weight on it.
All things considered, it would have been an amazing performance at like a private or underground club, like granted, or whatever. Cause it sounded like it was about to be jamming, but like not for that particular event. So, anyways, so getting ready to check out and all this good stuff. I go by the hotel. I walk in there. All right, so here it is. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, come on in. So I walk in. All right, yeah. So we got a chip. What the fuck is? What the pungent odor hits me. And so I look just to give you a visual. So everybody in this room has seen Dumb and Dumberer, the prequel when they were young, right? With the has everybody in the room seen that shit? Yeah, when they were younger, it was Dumb and Dumber, but it was the prequel when they were younger. Has everybody in the room seen this shit? Okay. Do you recall the scene when he was in there? He had the incident with the chocolate bar when he was in the bathroom and was wiping his hands on everything. Bob Saget comes in there and he assumes that this ain't chocolate or whatever. This is how this fucking room looked, and I looked exactly like Bob Saget. I was like, this shit on the wall. This shit on the this shit everywhere. This shit everywhere. Only.
And this is how you know I was not around at the time, because I would have just pulled a Mark Wahlberg and walked in and went, "Is that shit?"
Yeah, it would have happened. It would have happened. And so only in my case, no, it was not chocolate. And I was very aware that it was not chocolate. That did not smell like chocolate. And so the baby, the baby's diapers, God knows where, and I just look. I was like, oh my fucking God. And you know they use white linens and stuff. Oh my fucking. I was like, all right.
We gotta burn the room.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't even think it was checkout time. I think we just stopped by because we had to get Tenzin's memory card or whatever. So mind you, we never found it. Found that memory card, and it was shit everywhere. So after the fact, so when they do get ready to check out, so all right, so one of the people that was over, one of my distant cousins, Johnny Meg or whatever. So she calls me up. You know, I done got home and I'm decompressing from the weekend. She calls me. She says, "Hey Chris, hey Johnny, what's good?" Well, she was there with whoever her connect was. They kind of hooked them up with the hotel or whatever else, and they said she said that when they came in there and they looked at their room, originally they were supposed to charge something like a $300 cleaning fee for the state of this room, but fortunately Johnny pulled whatever string she pulled, and because she knew that my car was the one that was on fire, and then managed to get that thing waived. But case in point, after all that, I love my dog. That's my dude. My man's $100,000, but he won't ever
Never ever
go nowhere else with me and my people paying for this shit.
Them kids probably grown now, though, man. So.
Yeah, but hold on, what year was that? Hold on, it ain't that goddamn grown. It was within the past 5 years.
They grown enough to wipe their ass.
That kid hit him with a.
It wasn't their fault.
There was poo on the bed sheet, Sam. Poo on the ground, and a great big puddle.
And now that I'm thinking about it, everybody was sitting on the floor when I came. Like,
wait.
All around.
Hold the fuck up. They were still in the shitty room.
They were sitting around the room.
I mean, where the fuck else are they gonna
Yeah, but they
go?
were gonna
No, I thought he went into the room looking for the motherfucker. It was shit everywhere, but they weren't there.
No,
You mean
I
to
would have
tell-
been there having that conversation.
Bruh.
I would have opened that door and closed that door. No, the
You-
motherfuckers
I mean-
was in there.
Bro.
We needed that memory card because it had all the footage
Yes.
from the day before on that shit.
They were trying to camouflage themselves,
Sitting
Gutta. Yes.
in the floor,
Yes.
Indian style,
Indian style,
smoking and drinking.
camouflaged by shit.
Basically.
Wow. That's
But I will say here's the positive that came out of it. Because of the experiences that I've had simply seeing certain shit, it always told me I'm not gonna be that artist. I don't want to be like when history is told of me 20 years later after I'm dead and all they have is black and white photos.
can't book him. You
of
put shit
me
everywhere.
or whatever. I want to make sure that there's no tarnish or stain.
Now,
No
Pun
dude
into
stain.
I'm good.
on my
Now
wrist.
look, I'm good at smooth talking. But if any of y'all ever have to smooth talk my way out of shit all over a hotel room,
Maybe condoms.
I don't know. Which
I
is
swear
worse.
up and down, Gutta, you the worst old dog I ever had. It don't matter how many times you beat him and say stop humping shit, he will never stop.
You might as well just get ready to be coming in there. Throw your shades on, throw on the black light. So don't even ask what the fuck happened last night. You don't have to see anything visually. Just be like, all right, it's 4:00, and it's coming up with the black light, boo, and then it's gonna look like a Jackson Pollock painting in there.
Listen, the Lord
Real
said, "Be
quick.
fruitful,
Cap,
and
what's-
multiply."
Yo, Cap, what's wrong?
PSA.
What's wrong,
Real-
man? I'm scanning and I
Hey,
On that exact note, real quick PSA, it doesn't matter how you feel about doing the dirty. If you have done the dirty in a hotel room, throw your own condoms away in a tissue in a bag. Those
That's a lot.
people are not paid enough to touch your used condoms.
who the hell touching you? What?
Hotel cleaning staff, please tip them.
Oh shit.
They'll flush a burn them
Listen.
shits because somebody get a turkey basted in.
Let me find the fucking man. That shit'll still
is
be
happening.
somewhere it's at.
I don't know why you would want dumpsters.
But you know-
but
People do feel like their excrement and shit is okay for you to touch. I used to work in a hospital a long time ago.
yeah, touch a lot of shit in there.
Yeah, went up to the floor to collect the tray, and this lady decided that it was okay to have her used tampon in a cup. And I was supposed to grab the tray the cup was on and take it out of the room.
So you expecting like food, maybe some drops of juice.
Yeah, not ass juice. And they proceeded to call my manager and tell them that I refused to remove their tray from their room. But they neglected to mention the tampon. Yeah.
That's inconsiderate. That
Is that all it is?
well,
that is dead.
well, considering
Fucking filthy.
that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So how's about this then? I've got something fun for y'all.
Yeehaw.
So how's about it? We're gonna crack open the book. That's right,
Is it the rules? What book we talking about here?
bro. The you don't know? You haven't heard the good word? Don't worry, Thunderbird. I got you. Now,
Hold that thought.
okay.
The good word.
Look, holding a thought is what got me stranded here in the
bad
first
word.
place.
Hey, what word could be better than good?
The good word.
Is it good already? The good word? You ever thought about it?
I mean, literally, shoot.
Chris, me asking questions like that are what got me thrown out of several churches in the first place. So,
Hey,
Well,
God forbid you make sense.
well,
brothers and sisters.
so anyway, the Book of Madness. Tall tales in which there is a bit of truth. And you just might learn something. Or you just might enjoy yourself. Or, much like Colin said, then what are you doing here? See when. Tell the folks about the hood hidden in the woods.
The hood hidden in the woods. Alright, well.
The mystical home of the wind-clad ninja.
Alright, so back in long time. So I understand that you motherfuckers may have the game all fucked up as it relates to ninjas because you've been watching that Naruto shit and all of that these past few years. But once upon a time, long time ago, they simply referred to ninja as black people. And so because when you went out at night or whatever, it didn't take much for you to hide, or as long as you didn't wear a white t-shirt or smile, you were concealed. All right, it was pretty natural. It was just a natural way of life. But then some motherfuckers, they wanted to use it for their own means, and they had to slap names on it, and then. But that said, so it was more practical during these times to build said villages and homes and things of these particular people in the wooded areas. Because it basically allowed you to live a peaceful existence without them other motherfuckers coming to mess with you. Alright? And so it came a time when explorers, they started humping through them jungles, humping through them woods, trying to do whatever the fuck it is they do. And then they started coming up on these very nice establishments that were in these woods. And so it came a time where they're like, look, we gotta start concealing this shit. Like we still want to live good, but we gotta keep these motherfuckers from even wanting to come near these villages. And so hence they started making them look like what you refer to nowadays. So there's projects and the hood, all the usual symptoms, niggas stacked on top of each other. Some people ain't got windows, just stuff like this. But it was a facade or whatever, because the real show,
clever ruse.
You know what I'm saying? It was in the trees and underground or whatever, because we had all kind of ball and shit down under there. There was champagne fountains, and niggas sat around and played PlayStation 1 through 7. Yes, we had that in the village. And
no console shortages.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was great. Everybody had their own, and then we had like big ass screens, so we could do like multi-screen shit, and it was fantastic. And nobody was the wiser, because when they come and they'd hump through the jungle and they see this hood in the woods, they'd be like, "Oh, can't go there," or whatever. It doesn't look safe over there, and then they get the fuck on.
Is that a 3-story building with only one bashed out window? There's no way. Why are those? Why did he just scramble up the... Okay, they clearly, they're just living in open warehouses. It's the dopest club in the whole fucking city, and they'd never even know it.
Hood in the woods, man. Hood in the woods. Perfect hideout for your modern urban ninja, you know what I'm saying? And spent many a day out there in my younger years, and before venturing out into the world, you know what I'm saying? And then going to the common people. I was like the 36th chamber, you know what I'm saying? Like 35 is cool, but I think other people out in the world should learn, how to live, happily as we do, and that's what it is. That's it. Yeah.
But there you go, the hood hidden in the woods. Now, such a wonderful little civilization. Those blonde-haired, blue-eyed imposters in their orange jumpsuits could only wish.
It's a loud ass suit, bro. You can't sneak wearing that shit.
But see, when, what if I told you? What if I told you there's a tale? A tale of one of your Wind clan who found himself facing the wrong man. Word. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard the tales of my brother. We're just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna call him John.
Is that the sidewalk stuff, motherfucker? That was a cousin.
That was a cousin. Now, see, John is this very small, very lithe little blonde dude who always seemed to piss off just the right kind of people. Just the right kind of people that would not want to fight the kind of guy his little brother happened to be. And you see, John being about 5'4" and, like I said, lithe build, and we kind of had like this Tyler Durden group of friends, you know. But what everyone else saw is a bunch of little thieves and thugs and brigands beating the shit out of each other. Couldn't be further from the truth. We were real life fucking samurai, my dude. I mean, we had a rule. We had codes. We actually did. The entire group of us had codes, rules that we all had to follow. It was a very strict brotherhood. We kept each other in shape by fighting and sparring with each other all the time. And the thing is, it started out just because, you know, we were a bunch of little weebs that loved anime. But then when we actually started to get in shape and actually started to refine our abilities and stuff and actually start to test each other and spar, we branched out and we actually had whole community versus community tournaments and whatnot. That's right, my friends. When your little pirate captain was a wee lad, he was a samurai before he was anything else. And a damn good one at that. Was never necessarily one of the bigger guys, but I was quite good with what they call an odachi. You familiar with what an odachi is, Siwin?
I watch enough anime.
It is a Japanese longsword. And by Japanese longsword, I mean it is
Very
a good bit longer than a katana by about, 8 to 14 inches. So, you got anything going from anywhere from 42 to over 50 inches long in total. Right?
Something wrong.
Now, I like using that, exactly. But not nearly as exaggerated as that shit. Sephiroth's sword is like 16 feet long or some shit. It's insane. I wish, though. I wanted to be so badly. But I learned that I was a strong little fucker. So I refined the style of running right at them and just waylaying motherfuckers. Most of my fights lasted about 15 seconds tops, and it was usually ended by me side swinging and knocking a white boy on his ass and breaking my weapon in the process. I was famous for breaking my own weapons and beating the crap out of people that way. And I loved it. Personally, I didn't see anything more honorable than knowing that not only was I going to give everything to beat you, I was going to give that last bit of desperation to the point where if I fuck up, I'm going to be disarmed and I don't even care. That straightforward, but not necessarily contained fury, because I was dealing with a lot at the time, is what led to a clash that I don't think any of us would ever be able to handle. Now, the weird thing is about the Book of Madness is it shows you everything that could be and everything that couldn't be. And let me tell you one thing that shouldn't be. Was if the Wind Clan were to encounter the pirate before. You see, a young man of zealotry and honor like I was, I couldn't stand certain things, certain traits. And a lot of young men around my age exemplified those traits. A love of women. I could respect the love of women, but preying upon them, collecting them, yikes. Guys who were wannabe harem men despised it. And my brother was all of those things. But in that honor code, I can't beat his ass. So I gotta beat the shit out of every other guy that calls him out on it. That's right. Before your captain was a captain, he was a samurai, and when he was a samurai, he was a very proud and honorable samurai, but he was, in fact, just an enforcer and a thug.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys were in the game. That's like, that was definition. Like, if you start your old game, that's pretty much how it goes. You come up with your code. Y'all got
and people swear up and down, I don't know nothing about that life or anything. We were literally an American Yakuza.
Help each other get strong. Y'all pretty much in the game. Yeah.
Now, those that know me know I've got a few scars and whatnot on my arms. Not all of them are from the army. Okay? But I gotta tell you, I'd have more than scars if ever it were to happen the way that it happens here in the book. Now, Sea Wind, you got a brother. A younger man that spent some time in the southern realm of the samurai. And I gotta tell you, a guy like that wouldn't last too long.
Cousin.
Notice how we gotta get that separation.
It's more complex than that, but we need not get into it.
That's the Gust clan,
Yeah,
not the Wind clan.
Because I was adopted into that side of the family, so it is significant.
So, we'll just say that this Gust clan ninja.
I was raised by wolves, and one of those wolves used to live in the same village.
There you go.
Where Cat grew up.
Now that Gust clan ninja, he had eyes on a young lady that John fancied quite a bit. And we all know that's not how it's able to slide, right? So I gotta fight his boy. Fight lasts maybe all of 15 seconds. One swing, two swing. Plow and a parry. Dude's on his ass. Next guy comes up. I don't even bother with anything. Straight swing down, hit him in the top of the head, crack my boken in half over his head. He's bleeding. Last dude steps up and he goes, well, no. I guarantee you wouldn't be able to hit me with that same move. My brother looks at me and he goes, you would never fail me like that. Kick his ass. And so just like I always prepared to, I got ready to swing for the fucking fences on that guy. And just as I started to, a gust of wind hit me and a bit of sand got in my eyes, and then I felt the sharpest pain ever. Goddamn Wind Clan. And there I was, man, weaponless, but not because I broke my fucking blade off beating somebody's ass. No. A gust of wind beat me. I was disgraced, man. I was kicked out of the fucking group. I was cast aside. And from that day, I was branded as a failure, a thief, a pirate. But where will I go from there? Suppose we'll have to find out next time. Be sure to like. If you haven't subscribed, I know you have at this point. Howdy. It's good to have you. For those of you that were already a part of the crew, Captain loves you, and you know I always do. You get a special greeting. Join us for more mad events, mad tidings, and of course, we're going to continue the story. For those of you in the local Macon area, Triangle Arts, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Be there. See it there. Because we in there. See when?
You know, y'all had to have had some food somewhere on that battlefield for that gathering, because that particular that particular clansman, his powers only seem to activate when it's food related. Like,
Oh shit.
like this motherfucker could like stealth like nobody's business if it's
Look,
had something
man,
to do with
I don't
taking
know.
some food.
Might have been the baked beans. Maybe he farted the dust in my fucking eyes. But I'm telling you, it was the most humiliating loss of my life.
Crazy. But you'll have to tune in to find out. All I'm gonna say is, remember, y'all, peace is the absence of confusion. So if you're confused in the matter, the only way you're gonna find peace is to find a solution. So stick with it till you do. You got anything you wonder?
Ponder everything, but not ponder everything else.
Or ponder replay.
And with that, we ponder road.
On the top.
Cut it.
still here? It's over. Go home. Go.